The CIA is now days into their manhunt for the person or persons behind one of the largest leaks in modern U.S. history after WikiLeaks made a bombshell announcement, releasing nearly 9,000 pages it says contains the CIA's entire hacking capacity to get into your smartphone, car, TV, and more. With the organization's founder, Julian Assange, telling the world there are potentially more revelations to come. WikiLeaks now says those 9,000 pages are just 1% of what they've been able to steal from the CIA. And while Vice President Mike Pence says those involved will be met with the, quote, full force of the law, at least one senator is directly asking the Department of Justice on its plans to prosecute Assange. But today, new questions on the timing behind the breach and what, if any, role Russia may have played behind the scenes.
The timing is relevant because this scandal didn't just drop from the clear blue sky. The intelligence community has been pushing back on Russian interference in our election, and many people inside the intelligence community believe this may be Russia's revenge, its effort to basically embarrass the intelligence community just when they're calling Russia on the carpet.
Joining us for more, former FBI double agent Naveed Jamali, author of the book How to Catch a Russian Spy. Naveed, thank you very much for joining me.
Great to be here.
Let me ask you this. Could this massive leak be Russia's so-called revenge?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that in the past, the Russians would collect intelligence and, use it to counter our capabilities, but now they see that it's much more effective to release it to the public domain to simply embarrass us and to essentially humiliate us. And that's, that's what they're doing with WikiLeaks.
And the humiliation is what exactly? That this information was as vulnerable as it was?
Well, I think that it plays into this, a lot of Russians back in Russia will think of the authoritarian state, that the intelligence community spies on its people, the police, enforce, government rule. And clearly that's not what we do, but it plays into this narrative that I think a lot of people want to believe, that the U.S., we don't have true freedom, we don't have democracy. And this is something that the Russians really try to push, especially to former Soviet states. So I think that's probably their main thing, that they're trying to do here, is to essentially question the validity of our democracy.
And also our ability to protect sensitive information. I mean, this isn't
Absolutely.
The first leak.
Absolutely. No, that's absolutely true. And look, Steph, these have real consequences. When you release this stuff, and these tools are meant to collect intelligence. They're meant to collect intelligence from afar. And when you release them, you essentially jeopardize that capability, and that means that we can't use them. So now we have to do things like we did in Yemen. We have to send SEALs to collect intelligence, and that puts actual people at risk. So exposing these capabilities isn't just about embarrassing us. It also has real, tangible, real-world security implications for both the U.S. and for others.
I mean, cyber tools like this, these weapons, have become an incredibly important part of our arsenal to keep the country safe, haven't they?
Absolutely. And it's not just, again, we hear a lot about, can the CIA turn on your Samsung TV? And the capability exists. The difference is that the CIA, the intelligence community, does not collect on U.S. persons. It's Executive Order 12333. You can go to jail if you do that as an intelligence community member. So there's a big distinction between using intelligence to look outside of the United States, look at people in Yemen, look at people in Russia, versus law enforcement. We've heard a lot about FISA warrants, where a wiretap would have to be approved by a judge to listen to a U.S. person. So because we have these capabilities, because we collect intelligence against foreign targets, does not mean that we're using those domestically. It's a very important distinction, but one that seems to get lost, unfortunately, and muddled with people like WikiLeaks.
Let me ask you about Assange himself. He says a former government contractor was spreading the docs around online. Do you take Assange's claim at face value? I mean, should we believe this guy?
No, and it's really frustrating to see someone like Julian Assange be given the same sort of journalistic protection that's afforded, frankly, real journalists, the Washington Post, the New York Times, MSNBC. This is not someone who is taking an objective approach, double-checking facts. I mean, this is someone whose only goal is to report things, or rather push out information against the United States. He's not covering Russia. He's not covering authoritarian or regimes or despots. We can't look at Assange and say that he's anything more than a laundromat service for Russian propaganda.
A laundromat service. All right. Well, former FBI double agent Naveed Jamali, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for being.
The fallout from this breach could reach into millions of homes across the country, with many asking if the CIA has a blueprint for spying on you through smartphones and TVs. Do terrorists and cyber criminals now have that capability as well? Joining us for more, Anish Chopra, former U.S. Chief Technology Officer. Anish, thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thanks for having me.
First off, some tech companies have already said they've patched several of the vulnerabilities identified in this leak, but should Americans be concerned they may be spied on at this very moment and not even know it?
Well, I would follow on the discussion you just had. The U.S. government has obviously policies and procedures to make sure that the average American isn't spied on, as you've just heard. But it's very likely that we remain at risk for cyber attacks from those who wish to do us harm, to steal our identities. So the issue of cybersecurity remains a very important one, and the race is between the kind of services we want in our personal lives to make our lives better